Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to your 11th class for our phonetics course. And today is our third class about stress. And we have talked about stress in the last two lectures. I focus on this topic because it's pretty important. Even our next class is going to be about intonation and linking words. So the last classes here, we will focus on how the process of speaking occurs in English in most cases. So today we will have a short review for the last two classes about stress, and then we have more examples, or maybe same examples, but the difference is that we are going to explain slowly each process. So, since we have taken three classes on stress, it's important to focus on stress for the final test. In the final test, I will ask you where is the right stress in each of the following word. Which part of the word is stressed in English? So you need to memorize all of these rules and try to apply them. Try to go to the dictionary to find more words and vocabularies, and then try to put the stress in the right syllable. For today, let us finish our word stress lesson with today's class, the 11th class. As you can see, what is word stress? In English, we don't say each syllable with the same force or strength. In one word, we accentuate one syllable. Accentuate means we stress. We say one syllable very loudly, big, strong, important, and all other syllables very quietly. So, do you understand now the concept of stressing? The concept of accentuating one syllable? So, you say one word loudly and the other words very quietly. Let's take, for example, the three words photograph, photographer, and photographic. Okay? Do they sound the same when spoken? No. Because we accentuate or stress one syllable in each word. Photograph. So we stress the first syllable usually. Okay? Photograph. So photographer, for example. Photographer. So we have different accentuations. We have different syllables. Position. And it's not always the same syllable. Okay, so the shape of each word is different. For example, if you look right here, how many syllables do you remember has the syllabification of words? You need to go back to understand the syllabification of these words. Photograph. How many syllables? We have 3 syllables. Where is the stress syllable? The stress syllable is pho. Okay? Pho. Photographer. As you can see, we have added the suffix er to the word photograph. Since we add er, the stress moved from pho to to. Photographer. Photographer. لحظة الأولى. Photograph. الثانية photographer. وين كان التركيز؟ على الت. photographer. لأنه ال ER مثل ما أخذنا في المحاضرات الفائتة, some suffixes, they change the stress from one syllable to another in some cases, right? For example, look at the third word now. How many syllables we have? We have 4 syllables. And where is the stress? The stress is the underlined one. Okay? Here, the stress actually comes at the first syllable, Here it comes at the second syllable, because it has 4 syllables, it comes at the second syllable. And the fourth one, photographic. How many syllables? We have 4. This word actually ends with the suffix IC. And we have learned in the last 2 classes that the IC put the stress, or put the stress at the penultimate, at the syllable before it. Okay? لاحظوا الآن. photographic 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 كان الستريس على graphic. فلاحظوا, these are 3 words, although they have the same root, but once we add suffixes to the words, they change the stress position. And here, in the third one, the stress locates or occurs at the 3rd syllable. Okay. So this happens in all words with 2 or more syllables. Teacher, Japan, China, above, conversation, conversation. لاحظوا الشين كيف the syllable before shin is stressed. Above, هذه شوى, والشوى هي weak, right? China, also it's a شوى. Japan, Japan. لاحظوا, pan, it consists of 2 syllables, right? But Japan is the stressed one because pan does have a stronger vowel than schwa. Teacher, teacher, okay? Demand, etc., etc., etc. The syllables that are not stressed, we call them weak or small or quiet. Native speakers of English listen for stressed syllables, not the weak syllables. So you need to pay attention to this point. When you go or travel to Britain or somewhere like USA or maybe Australia or New Zealand, people will only listen to your strong or stressed syllables. So if you stress the weak syllables, they might not understand you very well. Pay attention. So if you stressed the unstressed syllable or the supposed unstressed syllables, they may not understand you. For example, like the word present, like the word present and present, present and present. Do you know they have this, you know what, they have the same letters, they spell the same way, however they are pronounced in different ways. Present, present. لاحظوا, present, the stress locates on the 2nd syllable. And there is a difference. Present is a noun. وهي معناتها sometimes a gift, right? Present معناتها a gift. لكن present, it means to introduce. It means to introduce. Allow me to present you, my friend. Allow me to present the manager of the company. بينما لاحظوا لو حكيت الأمريكي allow me to present, allow me to present, أنا حكيت هذه الآن, allow me to present the president, they may get shocked. What he's saying, it's illogical because he said present. So you need to say allow me to present as a verb, right? The syllables that are not stressed are weak or small, as we said. If you use word stress in your speech, you will instantly and automatically improve your pronunciation and your comprehension. So this is the point. Some of you and other of my students, they usually ask me, how can I improve my comprehension? Although I got high scores in the final tests, but when it comes to speaking, I find difficult, understand the American peoples or the British people or maybe the Australian people. So what shall I do? This is the point. Phonetics, this course, will help you, especially the stress and syllabification, stress and specific, helps you to understand and comprehend other speakers, other native speakers. So my advice is usually try to hear the stress in individual words each time you listen to English. Maybe on the radio or films or maybe the TVs. So your first step is to hear and then recognize it. After that you can use it. Imitate them. To imitate معناتها يقلد. Okay? In the coming classes, we will talk about also the intonation and linking sounds. These two phonetic aspects are very important to improve your comprehension. Why word stress important? It is important in all languages, not only English language. Some languages like Japanese or French, for example, pronounce each syllable with equal emphasis. Other languages like English use word stress. Word stress is not an optional extra that you can add to the English if you want. It is part of the language. It is part of the language. You cannot understand or master English language without stressing the exact stressed words or syllables. English speakers use word stress to communicate rapidly and accurately. وهذا اللي دائما تطلعوا عليه. How to speak rapidly بسرعة and accurately وبدقة, even in difficult situations and conditions. If, for example, you don't hear a word clearly, you can still understand the word because of the position of the stress. Okay? We have here kind of a general rules for word stress. There are two very simple rules about the word stress. One word has only one stress. Even if it has 4 syllables or 3 syllables or 2 syllables or maybe 1 syllable, it has only one stress. One word cannot have 2 stresses. If you hear 2 stresses, you hear 2 words. 2 stresses cannot be in one word. It is true that there can be a secondary stress in some words, but a secondary stress is much smaller than the main stress and is only used in long words. Like television, we have main stress and we have small secondary stress. I want you only to focus on the main stress now. Second rule is we can stress only vowels, not consonants. So a stress cannot be located on consonant. It must be on vowels. Here are some more rather complicated rules that can help you understand where to put the stress, but do not rely on them too much because there are many exceptions. It is better to try to feel the music of the language and to add stress naturally. However, these rules are important. I mean, in a practical, on the ground, do not rely on them too much, but on the final test, you need to focus on them. Okay, on the rules I'm going to display. For example, stress on first syllable. Here is a rule. We got most 2-syllable nouns, like present, most 2-syllable nouns have the stress on the first syllable. لاحظوا present, export, China, table. لاحظوا how many syllables? We have 2. The stress should be on the first syllable. فبالامتحان you need to differentiate first between nouns, adjectives, adverbs and verbs, and then you need to remember how many syllables does it have, each word does have, and then the rules. So if the exam you have the word present, and then I ask you where is the stress on this on the word, so you need to go back. You say, oh, okay, it's noun. Usually, if I did not decide, well, usually most of these stress words are content words, like verbs and nouns and adjectives. So present has 2 syllables, and the stress should be in the first syllable. Okay. However, the second rule is that most 2-syllable adjectives, they have the stress also in the first syllable, like the word clever. Clever. Okay. Clever is an adjective. It has 2 syllables, and the stress must be located on the first syllable. The second rule, to stress on last syllable. To stress on the last syllable, most 2-syllable verbs. Now we're talking about verbs. In the previous slide, we've talked about the adjectives and the nouns. But for now, we're talking about verbs. Most 2-syllable verbs, you need to stress the second syllable, like the word present. لاحظوا الفرق الآن في عندنا present and present. Present, it has 2 syllables, and you need to stress the second one, like the word here export. This is a noun. Export. Export. Okay. Decide. Begin. So the stress should be located in the second syllable. There are many 2-syllable words in English whose meaning and class change with a change in stress. هذا ما حكينا عنه قبل شوي، مثل word present. For example, is a 2-syllable word. If we stress the first syllable, it is a noun, معناها gift. On an adjective, opposite of absent. But if we stress the second syllable, it becomes a verb to offer. More examples, the word export, import, contract, and object can all be nouns or verbs depending on whether the stress is on the first or the second syllable. So please share with us how the export and import and contract and object is going to be noun. So I want you to share with me mentally, okay, to convince yourself how these words can be stress on the first syllable and the second syllable. Number 3, stress on penultimate syllable. Penultimate يعني second from end. Second from end. مثلا the word graphic. Graphic هذا بنسميه penultimate. هذا 1 هذا 2. Geographic. Geographic كم مقطع 3 syllables 1 2 3 هذا بنسميه penultimate. Okay, so as you can see, most of the words that ends with IC, they have most of these words have the stress on the penultimate. Words and ending in shin, whether it was this one or this one, like television, also you put the stress on the penultimate. Revelation, revelation, you put the stress on the penultimate. For a few words, native English speakers do not always agree on where to put the stress. For example, some people say television, and others say television. Another example, controversy. Controversy. أو بعضهم بيحكوا controversy. Controversy. However, I go always with this one. television, controversy. Okay, so this is what usually the phoneticians do. الصوتيين بيعتمدوا على هذه القاعدة. Television, controversy. Number 4, stress on anti-penultimate syllable. Anti-penultimate يعني third from end. Words ending in C, T, F, and G, they always have the stress on the anti-penultimate, يعني the second, the third from end. Like the word democracy, democracy, 4 syllables. So, democracy, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, you put the stress on the anti-penultimate, mo. طبعا هذه الكلمات اللي بتنتهي في سي. لاحظوا هذه القواعد جدا دقيقة. Dependability. لاحظوا T. Dependability. Dependability. Okay. 1 2 3. Photography. في 1 2 3. Geology. G A G 1 2 3. Words ending in L. Critical. 1 2 3. Geological, and so on. So hopefully these charts are very clear, and please, if you have also any comments, just try to discuss it either with your friend or contact me directly. And number 5, we have also in short compound words. And we have talked in the last 2 classes about the compound words, and we said that words with 2 parts. First rule, for compound nouns, the stress is on the first part. Blackbird, blackberry. So you need to put the stress on the first part. Blackberry, blackberry, blackbird, greenhouse, blackboard. So you need to put the stress on the first syllable. For compound adjectives, هنا حكينا عن nouns. بينما for adjectives, the stress on the second part. Bad-tempered, old-fashioned, old-fashioned. Okay? For compound verbs, the stress on the second part. هذا للverbs. لاحظوا, to understand, understand, overflow. So the stress should be on the second part. So this is what we have for the compound words. For example, let us do this exercise together. I will just do one and I will leave the other for you. Can you pass me plastic knife? Plastic knife. Plastic. We have 2 syllables. Ends with IC. The stress should be in the first syllable. I want you to do 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. ارجعوا إلى القواعد وتأكدوا من إجابات هذه الجمل. Okay? China is the place where I was born. China. Stress should be in the first syllable. Why? Because it's a noun of 2 syllables. Now let us go together and study stress on verbs. Now the previous one were general rules, but now we're talking about stress on verbs in specific. 2-syllable verbs. The second syllable is actuated. هذا أخذنا. مثل كلمة invent. Invent هذا فعل تكون 2 syllables. Reform. وين السترس لازم يكون في الشطر الثاني. If the final syllable is weak, then the first syllable is accentuated. Open. Open. لاحظوا هذا في شوى. هذا في شوى. فإذا كانت weak we need to put the stress on the first syllable. لكن القاعدة العامة هي هذه وهذه بعض الاستثناءات. Okay. لاحظوا two syllable verbs. حكينا هذا الشارت بأكد لنا on the last syllable. هذه release وين الستريس هنا؟ admit و arrange has the same thing. Arrange, you need to put the stress by yourself. Then we have verbs that have 3 syllables. Verbs in 3 syllables is we need to put the is the final syllable is strong, then it will be, if the final syllable is strong, then it will be stressed. Okay, like understand, entertain. Okay, the strong syllables are usually having long vowels, maybe sometimes short vowels, but excluding the schwa. For example, look at the chart right here. You should put the stress on the last part, like understand, overlook, outperformer. Yeah. If the last syllable is weak, stress will be on the preceding syllable if it is strong. Encounter, determine. واحنا تحدثنا عن الweak syllables في المحاضرة قبل محاضرتين. If both the second and the third syllable are weak, the stress will go in the first, like parody. Phrasal verbs versus compound nouns derived from phrasals. Anyway, phrasal verbs, like 2 words or 2-part verbs, are generally made up of a verb and a preposition. شو بتتكون؟ من verb and a preposition. For many of these, correct word stress is especially important as they have compound noun counterparts. In the following examples right here, the words on the left are phrasal verbs and on the right are nouns. Look at the first one, lid down. In phrasal verbs, the preposition gets the word stress. لاحظوا, lid down, shut out, print out, turn off, take over. So this is a phrasal verb. Okay, there is a space between the preposition and the verb itself. While with a noun or phrase, it also consists of noun and the prepositions, but they are connected together. If they have a noun counterpart, however, it gets the stress on the first part. Lid down, shut out, print out, turn off, take over. Take over. Take over, here it's a phrasal verb. So this is very important to differentiate between the phrasal verb and the noun phrase. Okay? And where to put the stress. In this case, the noun, shut out, print out, turn off, take over. Okay, so all of these are noun, a counterpart for the phrasal verbs on the left. So for the phrasal verbs, we put the stress on the participle. البارتيسل قد يكون اللي هي نقصد فيها حروف الجر. Okay, turn off, buckle up, hand out. Now let us discuss noun stress. Nouns, as we have seen, we put the stress on the first syllable, like center, object, flower. Okay, it has what? 2 syllables, center. So with nouns having 2 syllables, we put the stress on the first syllable. So if the second syllable contains a short vowel, then the stress will go to the first syllable. If not, it will fall in the second syllable. مثلا husband, placard, window, money. بينما في بعض الكلمات balloon, Chinese, canteen. لاحظوا وقع الستريس في الشطر في الsyllable, the second syllable. Why? Because the first syllable has a schwa. Okay? For nouns with the 3 syllables, if the final syllable is weak or ends with a schwa, then it is unstressed. If the syllable preceding this is strong, the stress will go to the middle syllable, like relation, potato, leaven, synopsis. فلاحظوا جاءت السترس on the second one. Why? Because it starts usually with schwa. Okay? If the second and third syllable are both weak, the stress will go to the first syllable, like yesterday, innocence, bachelor, wanderer. How about compound words? Stems with hyphen, like compounds are like this one, arrayed. Okay? They also, we have like something like strawberry, stems as 2 words, this, or disc lamps. These are all compounds words. Compounds with an adjectival first element and the ed morpheme at the end. As you can see, bad-tempered, half-tempered, heavy-handed. فالآن إذا ما جاء في الcompound words an adjectival first element and the ed morpheme مثل هذه الكلمات، هذا morpheme، أو tempered أو handed، هذه كلها صفات انتهت في ed. فإذا ما كان compound words if they have an adjectival first element, then we put the stress right on here. Okay, especially with those ended with ed. Okay, bad-tempered. Although we have here adjectivals, however, the stress should be put on the second part. Okay. Here for compound nouns, the stress on the first syllable. Blackbird, greenhouse, أخذناها. For compound adjective, the stress on the second. إذا في أخذنا compound nouns أول واحدة، بينما عندنا compound adjective. Bad-tempered, bad-tempered، هذه الصفة وهذه الصفة، لكن السترس يجي هون. Old-fashioned. Okay. ما وضعنا السترس هون، خطأ، لا يجوز، يجب أن يوضع على. Then for compound words, you need first to know if it is compound nouns or compound adjective or compound verbs. In the compound verbs, the stress on the second part, understand, understand, overflow. Okay, so you need to put the stress on the second one. So here is kind of a chart summarizing all what we have discussed in the 3 slides. How about the homographs? Homographs are words which are written the same way but which have different pronunciation. وهذا تحدثنا عنه في مثل كلمة present. In English there are many words which have the same spelling but whose part of speech changes with the word stress. لاحظوا part of speech يعني ممكن يصير adjective أو noun أو verb حسب ما هو السترس، وهذا ما أخذناه في كلمة present and present. If you listen carefully, you will hear that the vowel sounds change depending on whether they are stressed or unstressed. For example, these words, they have the same spelling. لكن the stress change each one of them into any of the part of the speeches. So, if you say record, or record, record, the stress should be in the first syllable. بينما record هذه record, record, السترس على ري. بينما record, it means a verb. Progress, it is a verb. Progress, present, present, permit, permit. لاحظتوا الفرق الآن؟ هذا بنسميها homographs. They have the same, homo means the same shape but different spelling. Also, we have talked about word stress patterns last two classes about the complex words, and we said words made from a basic word form, which is a stem or root, plus an affix. هذا بنسميه الافix هو suffix أو الprefix. suffix أو الprefix. فالcomplex words بتكون من root word or stem word and plus an affix. Compound words composed of separable root morphemes, وهذا أخذناها قبل قليل مثل football. هذا الفرق ما بين complex و compound. Compound بيكون two words composed of separate root morphemes. هذا root لأنها هي foot, and ball also is a root because it's ball. Okay, we have two root morphemes put together. بينما في complex words we have one stem, one root, and then we add a affix. Affixes might be prefixes, وحكينا اللي هي a group of letters comes before the stem. For example, impossible هذا بنسميه prefix. وأخذنا أيضا suffixes comes after the stem مثل happiness هذا بنسميه suffix. حكينا إنه suffixes carrying primary stress. The primary stress is on the first syllable of the suffix. If the stem consists of more than one syllable, then its first syllable will take a secondary stress. لاحظوا الآن Japan لما أضفنا لها كان السترس هنا، لما أضفنا لها is اللي هو الsuffix أصبحت Japanese، فأصبح السترس على الsuffix نفسه، وهذا أخذ secondary stress. refuge هي الكلمة هيك refuge السترس هنا، لكن لما أضفنا double E أصبحت refugee، أخذت هذه نزلت لتحت أصبحت refugee. mountain mountaineer لاحظوا جالس، هذا في حالات الcomplex words. Portuguese cigarette ريت جاءت الاسترس على الري، وهذه أخذت secondary. picturesque فلاحظوا إنه في suffixes they always carry primary stress. However, there are some suffixes that do not affect stress placement. هذه suffixes نضيفها على بعض الكلمات لا تغير إطلاقا على مكان السترس، بينما هذه suffixes أثرت في إنها غيرت في مكان السترس، بينما في هذه لم تغير على الإطلاق، مثل comfortable. The same stress is still and the same syllable. So please try to memorize all of these suffixes that do not affect stress placement. For verbs with a stem containing more than one syllable, the stress is always on the syllable immediately preceding ish, like replenish. لاحظوا بعض هذه مثلا devilish ما غيرت في السترس في هذه الكلمة. ليش؟ لأنه هذه adjective صفة، لكن في بعض الأفعال تنتهي في إيش، مثل replenish. The stress should be on the syllable before or precedes the suffix ish. Okay? Suffixes that influence stress in the stem، هذه suffixes أخرى بتأثر على stress in the stem. In this example, primary stress is in the last syllable of the stem. لاحظوا أخذنا بعض الsuffixes اللي بتاخذ that carry the stress وبتعطي secondary stress لبداية الجملة، والآن بدنا ناخذ بعض الsuffixes that where the primary stress on the last syllables, right? Like advantageous, photography, denial, climatic, perfection, injurious, tranquility, tranquility, tranquility. reflexive. فلاحظوا الاف والتي والاس والشن والاي سي والال والاي في والاس, they always stress the syllable before it. هذا السيلبل قبليها, هذا السيلبل قبليها. The same here. Tranquility, okay? So here's the chart, explains to us the whole rules that we have taken so far. And in here we have some words added ending like AC, IC, economic, economic, economic. لاحظوا IC stress the no, okay? Electrical, stress the one right here. So please try to study these syllables by yourself and try to do all of these examples. If you have any question, just try to share it with others or with me immediately. Thank you so much. Hopefully that you have got all the rules. Please start practicing on the stress, because you will have a lot of not a lot, maybe more than 5 questions about the stress. Thank you so much. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.